I'd like to do an example of where you might want to use the distance formula and the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, let's take a look. It says, determine whether the following points are vertices of a right triangle. So we're given 3 points. Okay, we could plot these points, and then we want to determine if the segments that when we connect the points, we want to figure out if that forms a right triangle. Okay, so I went ahead and plotted these points. 2, 2, 14, -3, and 2, -3. Now it appears that it is a right triangle if we wanted to connect all these points. Okay. However, we cannot take the picture's word for it. Okay. We have to actually prove this. So how are we going to do this? Well, we know the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So what we'll do, we'll use the distance formula to figure out the length between these 2 points. We'll use a distance formula to figure out these points and this one as well. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that for each side. So first of all, I'll find the distance between the points 2, 2, and 2, -3. Okay? We're going to find the distance between those 2 points. So the distance, remember, is the square root. Difference in the x's, 2 minus 2 is 0 squared. Difference in the y's, 2 minus a -3. I'm going to skip a few steps here, so stay with me. 2 minus a -3 is 5 squared, which equals the square root of 25, which is 5. All right. So we now know that this distance, we'll call that A, is 5. Okay? We'll do the same thing with these 2 points, 2, -3, and 14, -3. Okay? So the distance equals difference in the x's. So 14 minus 2 is 12. Difference in the y's, -3 minus a -3 is 0. And we get 12 for that distance. So there's B. Now all we have to do is find C. All right, so let's find the distance between 2, 2 and 14, -3. 2, 2, and 14, -3. All right, so the distance, difference in the x's, which is 12 squared. Difference in the y values is -3 minus 2, which is -5 squared. 12 squared is 144. -5 squared is 25. That's the square root of 169, and the square root of 169 is 13. Okay, so we found the last side. C is 13. Now we just have to check, are these points 5, 12, and 13 a Pythagorean triple, or do they satisfy the Pythagorean theorem? Let's check it out. So does 5 squared plus 12 squared equal 13 squared? That's our question. 5 squared is 25. 12 squared is 144. We want to figure out, does that equal 169? And let's see. 25 and 144 is 169. Therefore, these 3 points do, in fact, make up a right triangle. Okay? So all this really is an application of using the distance formula and the Pythagorean theorem. You're going to have a few homework problems similar to this. You know, if you have a little trouble, go back and review this lecture again, or go back and review the distance formula or the Pythagorean theorem.